At P&G, you spearheaded innovative strategies, and I think I read someplace where you added 1 billion customers during your tenure there
Mhm.
and created what I think is an impressive 60% increase in shareholder value over a 3 or 4, 5 year period of time or so.
Mhm.
What lessons about innovation and growth can you give to leaders today that you learned from your time there?
Well, I think I've become a huge believer in innovation. And what we found through our experience then and even now is diverse groups of people are much more innovative than homogeneous groups of people. The reason for that is innovation doesn't occur in a straight line. It's kind of a sawtooth activity where one person offers an idea, another person builds on it, and so forth, and they keep building until you get to the end result. That's something I learned from a fellow named Dr. James Burke, who wrote a book called Connections. And basically his thesis was ideas get connected through various different people, diverse groups of people, to the end point.
It's interesting how you went out and actually watched what the customers did and ultimately innovated based on their needs.
Well, there's a great story about that, and if I'm talking too much, please stop me.
No, no, you're
But
fine.
when we bought the Gillette company in 2005, I think it was,
Sure, right.
uh, we, I, their business was not very strong in India, for example, in a
Mm.
developing country in India. And so I went to Boston and I said, I don't understand this. How did you test this razor? Why are we not doing well in India? And they said, well, we went to MIT. This is before we bought the company. We went to MIT and we hired some Indian students to come in and use the razor, and they really liked it. And I said, well, did you ever go to India? And so I took a group of people to India, and we went into a fellow's home and we asked him to use our razor. And of course, what we saw was the Indian gentleman sat on the floor cross-legged. He didn't have running water, so he put water in like a soup can that he had used the night before, and he rinsed the razor in that can of water. Well, without running water, it was very hard for him to get the suds of the gel or the foam off of the razor, and therefore it didn't perform as well. So obviously we created a wishbone shape, we created more space between the blades, things to accommodate it, and obviously the business took off. You got to know your customer, and you got to know your customer intimately.
Wow, that's a powerful story. I assume sales took off in India at that point in time, right?
Yeah, it did. It did. Yeah. Mhm. Oh, it's axiomatic, right, Walt? I mean, if you know your customer and if you're close to your customer,
Yeah.
you'll do well.